And welcome to High Top Sports Network's District 6 Girls Basketball Preview presented by B&E Powder Solutions. Today's guest needs no introduction, a very successful coach for the Manor Comets for several years, and another trip back to the district playoffs for the aforementioned Jason Miloser. Jason, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate your coverage. Appreciate you guys doing this as well.
Absolutely. Obviously, Jason, a time of the year you're very familiar with. You're going to be taking the number 7 seeded Comets into the playoffs. So I guess my first question, and I have to ask you, after how bitterly I'm sure things ended last year, getting shut down by no fault of your own, how much extra motivation is there going into this round of the playoffs?
Obviously it was tough for us last year the way it ended, and lost a lot of really good seniors, and really feel bad for those kids. But we talked about our classmen, the kids we had coming back, about the great opportunity they're going to have this season. And I can't say enough about how hard the girls worked, everything that they had to go through with wearing the mask to try to practice and play games and adapting to that. And I feel like this whole season it's helped us come together even more as a team and grow as individuals, not only in basketball but in life. And that's one of the things that we really focus on, is just continuing to stick together, continuing to work. And the girls have done a great job of that this year, and we're excited for the opportunity. As you said, we don't take for granted the opportunity to go play in the district playoffs. A lot of great teams that aren't able to go, and obviously there's a ton of great teams that are in this loaded AA class field as well.
Good coach steals my thunder, just like you did. 5 of the 8 teams in the Class 2A bracket, all Heritage Conference residents. So obviously, it's always been a very successful conference basketball-wise, but it seems like it's getting more and more stronger on the girls' end. Talk about that as a whole, and how that might be a benefit for you guys. There's such a good chance, not only your game tomorrow, but games upcoming where you could face another team that you have some familiarity with.
Yeah, obviously, playing that Heritage Conference schedule, it really does prepare you for this time of year. Unfortunately, with 5 of the 8 teams being Heritage Conference teams, you're going to end up seeing each other again. And, that starts for us tomorrow with West Shamokin. They're obviously a great team, and team that we know well, and they obviously know us very well. And we're going to have to go out and play really good basketball tomorrow to have that opportunity to try to advance and move on.
That game against West Shamokin, as you mentioned, you guys split the season series each. I believe you both won on each other's, or on your home courts, respectively. So is it more of a benefit for you at this point in the season, maybe knowing a little bit more about them, or do you feel like there's some equal disadvantage there? As you mentioned, they know a little bit about you as well.
Yeah, obviously Coach Nagy and his girls, they do a great job of preparing for every team, and they're familiar with us. And I think that we're pretty familiar with them as well. They're going to add little wrinkles in. We're going to try to do the same, but at the end of the day, it is very tough to prepare new things, because they're going to know everything that we're going to run. We're going to know a lot of what they're going to do, and it's going to come down to us being able to execute those little fundamental things, both offensively and defensively. Got to take care of the basketball, got to play good defense, and got to finish each defensive possession with a good box out, because West Shamokin is going to be crashing the boards hard, and we're going to have to do a great job on the boards as well.
You talked about that being one part of their identity, crashing the boards and being so successful on the glass. Maybe besides that, what are some other things that you feel as though you guys are going to need to key on to be successful enough to defeat them like you did in the last matchup?
Obviously, it starts with Sophie Facero for them, but they have so many weapons. Sophie's a great player. She can score both going to the hoop, from the outside, from just about anywhere on the court. But as I said, they have a number of weapons. Lily Jordan and the Spawn girl on the inside just do a great job, not only rebounding, but I saw them develop throughout the year, creating more space whenever they make their post moves, and great finishers as well. And then Abby Osterling as the point guard position. Seems like she's been there forever, and she's just such a smart player. Defensively, she plays so hard and plays great defense. Expect her to be guarding Megan Dunn tomorrow, and we know she's going to play great defense, but saw her offensive game really come a long way this year as well. She can score from the outside, good at attacking the hoop, and very good at creating for other people as well. And then Lydia McElwain, she torched us the first time we played them. Great shooter, but she's more than just a shooter as well. She can attack the hoop and score from inside on the drives as well. So they have a number of weapons, and we got to do a great job defensively of playing good defense, being ready to help, but not over helping. And I thought that was the thing the first time. We sort of over helped and left their shooters open, and can't leave good shooters open. They knock them down. On the offensive end, obviously West Shamokin is going to play great defense, so we got to be able to be patient, got to execute our offenses and just make sure we're making that fundamental triple threat position, good, strong passes, because they're going to look to get those steals. And, we got to take care of the basketball and be patient on offense.
And Coach, obviously, you alluded to a lot of things about West Shamokin, a little bit about your team in particular as well. What are some things that maybe, and it's been a strange year, I don't need to detail that any further than it already has, but it's been such a strange year for you and everybody else as a coach. But what is one area maybe where you've seen a great deal of improvement, maybe that first loss to West Shamokin? Where have you maybe seen some growth from your team since that particular game maybe?
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the things that we talked about early on in the year was, how we want to make sure that we're taking care of the things we can control and making sure we get better. And I feel like starting two sophomores that didn't have any varsity experience coming into the year, really, they've really come a long way. And that's one of the things that we talked to our upperclassmen, Cassidy Smith, Anna Peterman, and Megan Dahm about, stepping up into even more of a leadership role, but then also helping along those younger girls as well, because not only those two girls starting, but, the girls we're going to bring off the bench with Allison Steitler, Greta Rattay, Sydney Schaefer, any number of girls, they don't have a lot of varsity experience either. So we got to make sure that those upperclassmen are making sure that they're teaching them, showing them things on the court. That's one of the things we really focus on in practice is trying to work on game situations because, early on in the year, I felt like if we would have been stronger in some of those late game situations, maybe our record's a little bit different than the way it was. But, I really saw the girls improve in that aspect. And, I give that a lot of credit to those underclassmen. And that was one of the reasons why we were able to beat West Shamokin to give them the first loss the second time around, because those girls did grow and improve. And, obviously West Shamokin's a great team. So that was a great win for us. And I feel like that's giving my girls some confidence. And that sort of helped that development as well.
Absolutely. Well said, Coach. I'll leave you with this one. What does your team need to do to go to a back-to-back or second consecutive District 6 championship? Of course, you guys fell very narrowly a year ago by 3 points to, I believe, Guilfoyle, if I'm not mistaken. So what do you guys need to do to get back to that game again this year?
I mean, we obviously, it starts with us on the defensive end. We got to play disciplined defense. Can't be taking chances. If we play that good disciplined defense, that's going to give us an opportunity to limit West Shamokin. And we got to try to limit them to one shot because you give them more opportunities. They are a great, great team, and they're going to make you pay. So we got to limit them to one shot. And then obviously on the offensive end, sort of touched on a little bit earlier, but we got to be able to execute our offenses. Got to be able to run sets, and you might have to run them through 4 or 5 times. We can't just try to get that first cutter open every single time. Be patient on offense, and make that great defense work because. Eventually that's how hopefully you're able to wear them down just a little bit. And then maybe you have an opportunity to get that pass inside, or maybe you have an opportunity to get a kick out for that open shot and knock it down. So, on the offensive end, it's all about patience for us, and defensive end, being disciplined, doing the little things right.
Well, thank you, Coach, for making the time. And of course, Coach Miloser and the Manor Comets will be on High Top Sports Network March 2nd in the kickoff to the District 6 playoffs against the West Shamokin Wolves. Coach, best of luck in that contest, and hopefully we'll get to see you there.
Thank you very much, Joe. Again, thanks for all your coverage and everything you do for high school sports and the Heritage Conference.